Hello. Today I am playing against KataGo with 5 handicap, which is probably not enough. I'm fully expecting to lose this game, but hopefully it will be interesting to see how I lose it, even if the result is pretty predetermined. So I guess we're playing with free placement, so I already placed my 5 handicap stones, as you can see. So it might be worth a little bit more than regular 5 handicap stones, where you get 51 in the center, but it should be around the same. And I know that it's almost, I think pros are about 3 or 4 stones away from KataGo. I think KataGo can probably win with 3 stones against a pro, so I most likely won't be able to win with 5 stones. Okay, so it directly attaches to the upper right corner. I think I just want to play this Hane. And then when white extends, I will descend down. Looks fine to me. So this also means I won't be maybe thinking too much about trying to win. I just try to play my best and try to lose by as little as possible, maybe. Okay. So here, white is tempting me to Atari here, luring me into a fight already. And it's maybe a little bit complicated, but I think this should be good for me locally. So I Atari here, white goes down. I could maybe go down here. Yeah, this should be fine. So let's do that. Also, I should mention it's Chinese rules, no komi, and it's Fisher time. We start with 30 minutes each, and it's 1 minute increment per move. So pretty slow time settings. I'll probably not use all my time. Try to keep the game in a reasonable pace, but we'll see. So yeah, I go down here and white can decide here to just Atari, give up this, but I think, so like maybe white has gained a little bit locally like that, but I think for me simplifying the game in that way would be very nice. The alternative would be something like this, blocking from the outside. But then there's some more, it's a little bit more complication when white turns in the corner. I'm guessing like this might be the stronger move, but this is the safer move, and I'm gonna go for the safer one. And to me here it looks like this fight when white Atari's out here can't really be very good for white. Maybe did I miss something here in the corners? Like white Atari's pushes out a few times, then Atari's here, goes out. Might be slightly bothersome. So as expected, white plays away because, like I said, if white could locally here just Atari once, Atari like this, but it would be very nice for me to simplify the game in that way. So okay, white is leaving it, and later on white might start his fight. So I have to look out for that. But I think I want to answer right now in the lower right. Probably. let's look a bit more closely at this fight. So, Atari, push. White can keep pushing. And eventually white will Atari here, go out like this. And Hane here, here. Capture. Atari. Go down. Yeah, it's a bit bothersome. So I might actually very soon want to... It would be very sad to add a move here right now, but it's my plan here otherwise. I mean, I could conceivably give up the corner in this variation when white Atari is here, but that can be really good. So if I play this one, I'm expecting white to just press here. The good part is that there's not much RG left here then. White gets like this Atari, but I guess white will try some other attached stuff. Okay, so let's first play in the lower right. I can't play too scared from the beginning. If I'm sort of afraid of all fighting, then I will have no chance. So here I expect white to extend. I will just jump. And yeah, then white could. I would be quite happy again if white went into the simple variation here. Try to just take the right side. Not sure what else white would do. Like if white extends here, then I think me extending here is very nice. So I'm sort of expecting this move now. But in that case, me just extending here is sort of nice. Since I just gave white these stones, it's sort of like I got a territory here, and in exchange white has a little bit influence and potential to build on the right. And if white goes into this variation, white attacks from this side, then I sort of naturally erase that influence. So okay, it looks like white might actually... I think this might be a bad exchange if white wants to go for this one, so now maybe white will play this one. In either case, now I'm not so worried, because like even if white does this, I'll just go out and it should be very good for me. Okay. So of course I should probably consider not playing here. There are some other options like this one. So if I play this one, white will Atari, I capture. White plays some move to fix the cutting points here, either right away or in the future. Or the other option is I play this one. If white just connects, it's still like... Yeah, I'm not too sure I really gain much by cutting there. So I think I will, like I said earlier, I think this result should be, I should be happy with this. Upright is super safe. And like either white takes Gothi here to protect the cutting points, or I later on I might get one of these cuts. Okay, now here normally I would just do this one. I might consider this since I have some potential to build along the top, like if I get this cut. But it's also like in a handicap game, I think white would want to play this approach here pretty soon. So maybe I should back off simply like this. Again, play a little bit safer than normally. So here, here, kick, go down. Yeah, play this one. So far, I'm pretty happy with the game. I don't think I messed up too much yet. Okay, now this side, maybe I should do this. This looks very sad to be low here and low here. Could also conceivably kick, but I think that's just helping white make a nice shape. So let's play this one, not worry too much. When white eventually comes in here, I might play some really calm pincer type move, or just settle in the corner, depending on what other moves have been played first. So at this point, I'm not saying that this will be my area. In an even game, I might be hoping to make these points in the future, but here I'm like trying to be very realistic and say that, okay, when white jumps in here and white did so right away, I will just give these points up. Not get into anything complicated. Okay, so kicking here seems reasonable. Like if I kick here and then need to add a move around here, then white gets an extension, two space extension here. I would like to prevent this from making a too comfortable extension. And if I play from this side, maybe white would like peep here or something, but I think I prefer that. And I'm thinking about this one rather than this one, because this one leaves this weakness at M3. So two space extension, a little bit slack in this case maybe, but I don't want to be annoyed by white jumping in here. So the idea here is that if this stone has no room to extend to the right here, then it has to either jump out or to settle in the corner with something like this peep. A very basic way for me to follow up here, if white just Tanukis, would be to attach and crosscut. So like attach and white harness and I crosscut. It's a very easy shape for black to play. Not really the strongest way to attack necessarily, but a very simple way to settle the shape. So that's one reason I always like playing this shape. Even in even games, I sort of like setting up this attach and crosscut. Simplify the situation, because it's very hard to like start with like kicking and attack. Like attacking on a larger scale is always more complicated. It's easier to just have some local tactical sequence which gives a decent result. Okie dokie, white jumps out. So let's see here. One drawback of me playing all the way over here is that if I like kick and jump down here, then there's really no potential for me to connect underneath. So like same idea here, like attach and crosscut unfortunately doesn't work because white Ataris and Ataris. So I could just kick and then play maybe like this shape move to keep the corner completely safe. Or I could think more about coming out here in some way. And it looks like slightly passive to just take the corner, but I think it's probably my best option. It should also leave like this point here to jump out. So white might want to add a move there to sort of complete this influence, and then maybe So the question is like if I kick and I play this shape move, if white just completes this little wall here, I think I'm pretty happy to play something like this pincer. But more realistically, maybe white will play on this side first. I'll have to jump out and fight a little bit. Could also consider, let's say it's like kick, out. It's a bit awkward shape. Question if this is still maybe a better shape. Click in here, a bit like this P. Well, then there's this double P. Let's go for this one. So I think after I made this exchange, it's probably proper to add a move here, and I'm just debating which shape to go for. And this is my current plan. Because the corner is sort of very wide open, white has this, after white stands up here, white c3 would be super annoying, since my group is a little bit weak. So by adding some move here, I should secure the corner territory and the safety of my group. And the question is which move leaves the least amount of problems here. So I guess this would also be an option. So what I'm worrying about here is that after this one, I jump out, this peep here. It's still a little bit annoying. Do 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 do. So one thing I should consider with this one is white just peeps here pretty soon. So the drawback of this one is this double peep, but if I get this peep in, that might not be such a problem. I'm already so confused here. So this one I need to potentially worry about like here, 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 here. Wait, is that inside? But so here one of the variations I'm looking at is here. Let's just say I jump here, white peeps, goes down, and then this point, and like I can block here, but then white goes down, here, here. It's good for white. So annoying. So should I maybe kick here? Is that a terrible idea? Kick and then jump out. It's a little bit crude, but that case, white peeps. Like, I'm not as worried about white taking this point in the corner because I think I like that the most so far. I hope it's not too boring watching me think for 5 minutes about such a simple thing, but I was debating whether I should use the like variation tool. Like at least I can do it now, I guess. So what I was worried about here was something like after this peep. And to make it clearer, like let's not say it's right away, but let's say later on I want to jump out here and white peeps. And when white pushes down here, there's this weakness. And I want to be able to block like this. And this is fine for me, but I was a bit worried about white going down here. And like, it's probably like some way for me to handle this fight, but I want to avoid complicated stuff like this. So that's why in the end I decided to kick here. And okay, white plays this Hana. So this will, white is trying to take center here locally instead of just descending. White wants to get center in the local shape. But that's fine by me, because when white does this, I'm getting a lot stronger here, so now I don't have to worry as much about stuff. Like if white takes this Atari in the future, then my shape is super strong. Otherwise I have this. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this result here now. So white comes back to the upper right. I think it would make sense for me to play this big move. Like locally, of course, this is big, but it's small in the more global sense. So this sort of looks right to me. It might be a little bit risky. White jumps out, I play a 2-space extension, KataGo kills me, I resign, you know, stuff like that. But it should be the right idea. So what's the alternative? Something like kicking and jumping here, or like kicking and maybe this move could be nice. That looks like a pretty good option. I give white a lot more points here, but I also get some quite secure points upper left like that. And like I said, the option is for me to pincer here, white jumps out to 2-space. And realistically this shouldn't die, but while I hope that I wouldn't die even against KataGo, but while I'm getting attacked, it will gain a lot. Influence, take away all my corner points and so on. So let's go for this simpler variation. So far in every corner I've sort of backed off, tried to just take solid points to keep the game as straightforward as possible. So we have successfully avoided complications, but probably conceded a bit in points. Like if we look at the score graph after the games, I guess we have sort of given white a lot of potential in the center. So I think KataGo is slowly catching back up. That's the idea. I'm going with. So now I'm thinking about this point, because there's this shape weakness, like after, again, like this point, and then let me just show this with the variation. Like if I play elsewhere later on, there's stuff like this. So two like normal shape points for black here is to either jump like this or jump like this, and both of these will sort of work like a tiger's mouth at the end of that variation. Like at this point, if black had either of these two stones, very nice. So this sort of looks nicer because it's closer to this potential white area here. But I like this a little bit because it's you know, more towards this area. But it's probably not right. I mean, let's also say like here, and again remembering that this is sort of like a tiger's mouth, what if white just peeps here? That looks very quite painful. If I'm going to want to fix up my shape here somehow, this is a very nice point for white. So I think let's do this one and say that we now have some pretty nice follow-ups. We could either keep jumping here and make sure that this white area is limited, or we could try to build something on the top here. Not sure exactly how we would do that, but there's either some move like here maybe, or something more like... It's hard to finish the whole area with one move. It would be more like making some extension here and threatening to make all of it into territory. Not sure. But I think this area is not too important. Like this is a little bit of points, but I think the center is probably more important. So now I'm trying to maintain here my option. I had this option to jump in here, and I had this option to jump in from this side. So that's the idea. I wonder if when I jump out here, white is maybe going to peep here still. Take this peep, Tari. Might be worth considering before I jump out, but it should be okay for me. So white's attach here is at least sort of hinting that I went in a right direction. White agrees that this part is important. And if I honey here, I leave this cutting point. So that's annoying. I'm starting to get the feeling that this white player is a bit stronger than me. Don't know what tipped me off. So like if I don't want to Hane, and I'm concerned about Hane because I Hane and white just extends, like there's this bulge here later on, there's this cutting point, and like do I want to add another move here? It just doesn't make a lot of sense because this is still open. So another option would be to just extend. But then let's say white just keeps pushing here. It's very sad. Like this white move is so annoying. I wouldn't have considered this as white, I think, but once I see it on the board, I'm like, oh no, it's annoying. I sort of regret playing f15 now. I could also just go in here. I can afford to give white some points on the left. Yeah, like playing this on here shouldn't be too bad. And at some point I do need to get into the center area. So let's play this. And then I'm considering this one. This cutting point, I might tar from this side, connect like this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so let's do this one. Threatening to honey here. I don't know if I would actually have the guts to do that. It should be good for me. If I get to. So I'm expecting white to either hana or extend. Or cut or something crazy. So let's say white harness. Okay, yeah, this is another thing. So the good part about this is I get to fix this cutting point. If I want to. And I get to give back some points in the corner. Get to give up my corner. But it's sort of nice to give back some points in return for simplifying the outside. So one issue here is that white could also like push and cut like this, push cut here, but I think that's good for me. So I think my main concern here is that yeah, white can come in like this, take the corner, but it's like it's not super big. Of course, like I could also do this one. Um, hmm. Might also be an option. But there's this annoying peep here then. So we will connect. Like this. If white cuts here, I'm pretty happy, I think. Because I get my points back and I just need to focus not dying with this cut-up group. So like I'm expecting something like this. But I guess maybe white could also just go for the cut directly. Yeah, that shouldn't be good for white. So white goes for this one. Again, should I honey here? So if I hana and white extends, I think I'm pretty happy with that exchange because I can jump out here next. But maybe I shouldn't be so worried about white extending here anyways. Another thing I'm worried about is that like I hana here, white counter hanas. I don't think I have any severe attack on the left. So that just sort of leaves me with playing some Atari, extending. It's not a great result. So I think this might be the time for me to do this. And ask white here what it's planning to do. Because there's some potential to play this beep here, and we would get some trade. I get to cut through here. So let's see what happens. So again, I'm not too worried about this cut because I think like white cut here, I can Atari once like this, right? And like this cut is still not working. And white can come out here, but I think this should be okay for me. It would be slightly more annoying if I had to, when white cuts here, if I had to protect immediately, white got to come out like this with better shape. That would be more worrisome, but since I can play this Atari once, sort of like this, I think this should be okay for me. Okay, so white does play this extension. I could continue jumping something like this. I think this would be sort of as far as I would dare to go. Like if I try to put some pressure here, white might just cut. Reactivating this RG and stuff. So I'm choosing between this move and something like this on the top. Not sure what the good shape here is. Like this is a reasonable shape locally, but it feels a little... this white stone is not really important. Oops. So I'm thinking I'm sort of drawn towards the top, not because I'm super invested in these points, but because, like, if white gets the next move here, maybe I just need to add a very small move to defend this cut. This would also prepare to move in like this. Yeah, let's try this. So still there's room for white to come in here in the future. But if I get the next move, like, it could be quite a bit of points for me. So hopefully this is not too small. Okay. Find this a little bit surprising. Because it seems to me that this must mean that white wants to go for this cut. But then white gives back this corner. Because instead of this move, like in the future, white could have played something like this. And I mean, maybe there's a stronger way to resist there that I too weak to see, but like what I was expecting was something like this. White can scoop out quite a bit of the corner. So when white cuts here, and I Atari from this side, this becomes my secure territory. And all I have to pay in return is aha. Well, I thought I had to pay in return was this cutting idea, but okay, white has this annoying move. It's interesting. So now I can't go down here because white would Atari. And right now this is Sente because if white just Ataris now, the stones come back to life. So I probably have to just connect. Like another option would be to place a move like this. That would be if I was very concerned about this cut. Or rather, like I would play this to be able to, let me show this as well. Like if I play here, there's still this cut. And I can like Atari and capture. And there's some potential for white to fight here. But I'm not super worried about this. But if I were worried about this, I could consider to instead play directly here. And this means that if white cuts in the future, I can just directly kill it. There's really nothing white can do. But this is a lot worse on points towards this side because white can like Atari here. And I don't know if that's the best way for white to do it. But I would much rather have the stone for this area. And then the annoying thing is that like white has this connect, but maybe I'd also get to go down here. We'll see what happens, but I will play this connect. And what's so nice about the way white played here is that now white got both things here. White gets this cutting Haji, and also white still has this potential to connect out. So I mistakenly thought that white had to choose one of them, but like this, white gets best of both worlds. But I still think I'm okay. We will Atari. It's a little bit annoying that if this group gets separated, even if I capture 2 stones, okay, let me play the move first. It's like when white comes out here. Okay, let me just play out the sequence before I. Is there any reason to play something fancy here or just capture? So obviously this is a funny looking move threatening to come out here. So I don't know if there would be some reason for me to play this one. I don't think so. I don't think it's better for Liberty's Freer because I can't fill this Liberty anyways. And like there should be no problem with like white cutting here. I just go down. Oops. Capture. Okay. So white wants this squeeze, I guess. Is there any option for me to resist here? Like I could think about going out like this, but it doesn't seem like a good idea. So I think I have to let white have this. Okay, so we'll capture here, but if, like at this point, I think white will not play another move, like, probably white can Tanuki at this point. And white already got this nice influence here. Okay. Um, just like this, or some Hane. Probably this is good enough. It still leaves me, makes me more solid, but still leaves me the option of jumping out here. So at this point it seems like the way that KataGo is going to win this game is by making a lot of points in the center. Because I have, although I have basically 4 corners, they are very limited. So it doesn't seem too unreasonable that white can just make up for that in the center area. But I do have quite a bit of side up here potentially with another move. Okay, now we get this stuff. So the plan is basically to block here. Because if I like capture here, this my shape is just I don't know if white would go like this or just this double peep. But I don't want to, for instance, let's say I do this. Just one very simple way for white to play would be this one and cut like this. And this area is looking very big. So instead I'm going, I think, I'm going to block like this. Allow white to capture one stone, second line. And this is going against what I just said, so now in this variation white is actually taking away my points and letting me get some more access to the center, so maybe white didn't have enough points just in the center already. Um, hmm. So when I was looking at this before, I was thinking maybe I'll just push here or something. Now I'm thinking I could potentially Atari here and extend. It's a little bit asking for some trouble. The question is if I'm going to die with this group. I'm thinking Atari extend. White can extend here to save this in Santa. Go for this one. And white might jump in the corner, taking away my eye shape. So the question is that variation better for me than pushing out here? One nice thing about this is that I maintain the option to attach here later. Yeah, let's do this one. So then I get this Atari. That should be a good exchange, right? Yeah. I would be happy to capture there, so I think white will respond to this. But it doesn't respond right away, so maybe that means it didn't expect this move. Actually not sure if it's manually operated or if it's playing automatically. Oops, I almost misclicked. So this one I'm going to respond to, but if white Atari is next I won't respond. But I think this one is worth responding because when white captures at this point I'm actually like separated, so it's very big. But after I capture, if white just now Atari's 5 stones, that's just points basically. Points plus this cutting point here, which is not looking very relevant anyways. So okay, white made that one, then responded. Now, like this looks very big to me. And I need to play something to take care of this group, probably. If I let white play here next, I'm going to want to play some boring move to connect anyways. So this seems like a good idea to me. There's even like slight bit of potential, like if I get to Hana connect here, this group is not completely alive. So I'm not going to get to attack it because white has like Satari and stuff here, but still, white at least has to think about it. That's nice. Okay. White is making these points. I'm thinking just this move. Like right away, white can't cut here. White could play something like this extension, but it's not really. Can probably afford to just connect. Yeah, so let's do this one. And then I'm thinking. Maybe I should do this actually. Well, no, it's a bit sad because I was thinking whether I could like get this in center. But when white does this, there's still like a big point in the corner. I guess this might be an interesting thing to consider. But not sure about it. So I'll probably just leave that for now. Okay, we have some good push here. We have this move. We have this. It's like super big, but it's just points. It is basically solidly connected here. I could make some points on top. Can jump in here. So like, if white ignores here, can I even honor this? Guess I can. White cuts and I could Atari in from this side. Hopefully. Hmm. I guess this might actually be nice, even though white can do this stuff in the corner. I could potentially get a little bit of points here. White could exchange this, but I'm not too sad about getting this weakness fixed. Option if I play away here, then maybe white turns here in the future. It's not super big, but it's pretty big. So let's do that. And now this one, maybe, but we should do this. It's like slightly ajikashi, but it sort of clarifies things. Yeah, let's actually do that. Like if white plays this nice table shape, I do get this Hana quite cleanly. And I would think that white would want to respond here. Always a worry that white will just ignore me. Interesting. So this is little bit nice to make white commit to this ugly shape here. But maybe like it doesn't matter that it's ugly at all. So that might be the situation. But like if I honey here now, white probably has to back off somehow because otherwise I Atari. Mm. But maybe now is also the time to play here before I make white too strong on this other side. Hmm. So if I do this one directly, then white Atari is here and just comes out, for instance. Or Atari is in this. And is alive, so that's why I think I should exchange this instead. So I'm thinking I do this. And white can Atari here. But I get some nice secure points here, potential to make a little bit of points in this area. And white has to spend a move to live with this group. Like we looked at before, white can push here to do it in a sort of a profitable way, leaving this big endgame move in the corner. Thankfully, my group is basically connected on the outside now. I guess actually, yeah, after this, we can like Atari connect. But I'm planning to. So let's say I'm connected out here. Then in the future, I could potentially play this hanging connection to threaten a co against this group. So that's the rough idea. But I think maybe doing this right away is too early. Killing this would not be super big, and white will get some nice co-threat and compensation. Okay. White does in this way, which means that white also has the option to just clamp here. Future. I could still do this if I wanted to, but it looks a bit more awkward. So we'll leave that for now. And the plan here was to play some move in this area, but maybe I start with this one. It's also, like, depending on how white plays here, maybe I get a lot of code threats. This might start becoming more realistic. Let's see. So there's a danger here of white just cutting or something, but like there's white shape is really awkward in that case. So let's just quickly. I don't know exactly what would happen here, but like this, for instance, just this maybe good enough. Probably just take these two stones. Good enough for me. And if white tries to resist, then I have this ladder here. So white backs off and connects. Oh, this is so big and tempting, but I think this is bigger. Also, maybe, you know, this, because this cut is still like very big. If I play from this side, I guess the hope playing here would be that even if white adds a move somewhere here, I still have an easier time jumping into this general area with this strength here. But maybe since I have like 20 minutes, maybe this would be a reasonable time to actually count the score. I have some very like solid points, let's count those. Maybe we'll do the counting in pairs. So I have 6 captures. Let's say that's 3 pairs. Then we get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Let's count. Let's maybe count 14, 15. This corner. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30 or so. Let's say I have around 60 points where I've sort of given myself like I'm expecting to get something here or something here. So if I have 60 points, let's count this white area. Let's say that it's roughly 5 by, so this is like 35 points. So let's say this whole thing is about 40. And white has a little bit here. let's call this. So if this is like 40 and this is like 20, then the game is pretty even at this point actually. So let's not be too slack here.
Game resumed.
Oops. Not sure what just happened. Okay. Yeah, I think the operator of the bot accidentally paused the game, but then the bot directly unpaused it and said pausing not allowed for ranked games. So I think this looks like a reasonable shape point here, trying to make some points in this area. Playing a bit more riskily here now, after counting and realizing that it's actually, you know, if I keep playing passively, I will just lose too easily. Need to put up something of a fight. So I'm trying to make some points here, threatening to go into the right. There is some weakness in my shape, but also like this white stone is not very strong, so I think it should be fine. But what I am worried about is this cut here. It's a little bit of an annoyance, but I should be able to handle it somehow, especially with this new stone here at N6. So hoping to sort of make white add a move on the right. And then I would like to be able to play like b15 would be so nice to get in. And if white ignores b15, I'll just jump in here and white suddenly has a lot fewer points. So okay, this is sort of what I was hoping for. White will get some points here, but it's sort of limited. It won't be some big moyo. A pretty big move soon would be something like this on extend here, threatening this clamp. But I think, like, I really don't want to miss this point. If white does this, extend. Well, it's a bit scary. Maybe I just push in that case. Give white some more points here, but I can still jump here. Should be fine. Let's do this. I'm happy if white answers. I should be happy if white plays away and I get to play b13. The main worry here is that white plays some really severe move, which has white gets some stuff in center and then also comes back and protects here. Um, hmm. Then also, like, this is an interesting point because when I play c1, let's say white just protects, there's still this c3 move. So I might also need to do something like this. Okay. Wait, it's allowing me to connect here if I want. But then get to come out like this. So how about I attach here? White does this, I'm pretty happy, but I'm worried white is going to Hane. Here. Attach. Hane. If I extend, it's annoying that white can cut. So here, here, here. Such bad shape. So maybe the proper thing to do would be something like this. Or even this. Oh, that's super sad because then white can even cut. Okay. Let's say this one. Here. Or if I here crosscut, then Tari. So I'm thinking about, like, it's super sad to play here right now because when white goes this, white is threatening to push through here. And I'm thinking if something like this could be playable, but it looks pretty dicey with all these Ataris for white. So like, let's say like this, and I can't do this one, white Ataris here. If I do this one, white comes out, and it's a little bit sad that I'm separated with the corner, but I guess if I capture this stone, it's actually not separated. So, I mean, maybe this is okay. Hope you don't mind my little bit of cheating here by playing out variations, but I'm certainly going to lose anyways, and I hope it makes it more enjoyable to watch, to see what I'm thinking about. So it will be either that one or just some super safe move here. I'm worried if I just play away, that white gets some point like this. Just saving all of this, and I have to worry about living with the group. So let's try that variation. Maybe we crash and burn here. But again, I feel like I need to fight back a little bit. I can't just give white everything at once. Like in that variation we looked at there, white does get to save this stone, get some points in the center, so it's probably like good for white, but at least if I capture this cutting stone, I'm well connected and safe. And that feels like the most important thing. I feel like if I get cut off, I really have a really hard time staying in the game. Because like even if I add a move in the corner, like white will get center moves towards me. And if I'm weak in the corner, I can't even think about like trying to threaten this with a ko, because the ko is much heavier for me than for white. So, it's just disaster all around. So, okay, let's see what happens. Still, like at this point, I don't think I have very many other options. Like I could, guess conceivably play here as well. But if I do this, then yeah, white goes here and it's super sad. So, to get this cut in. And it's sort of like I won't be committed to saving this stone, but I'm hoping to induce white here to help me to capture this cutting stone. So far, some mistakes I made in this area was that when I played K2, um, I didn't foresee that white getting this Atari would be, in any case, a problem for me. I thought that I was strong enough in the corner, but when white captures directly, instead of pushing and capturing, this is actually a little bit better for white. Like I would be happy to have this push and block exchange in here actually. It's very instructive how white just captured directly. So here, like white shouldn't be able to Atari from this side. Uh, just Atari here. So yeah, I'm guessing like Atari, this one. I have them bad shape, but it's hopefully okay. I guess I didn't really read out this. I just assumed that this would be a ladder, but let's say Atari, Atari, Atari. It's not really a ladder. Hmm. So maybe I still need to add a move here after I do this. Clearly right now after I cut here, of course, white is going to play here, but so if white comes out here, Atari, Atari, here. It's actually just falling apart. I think I really need another move here. It's so annoying. So annoying. So maybe like this one would be a nice shape. This still leaves white option to capture the ladder here. But if I try stuff like this, it's really working. Here, 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 here. I guess it's like a ladder right now, right? But this might not stay working. uh, so like one thing to consider, like if I do this and white plays here, do I still have to? I guess this isn't really threatening any sphere here anyway, so I can just do this. So let's do this. Yep. So no, this is not as big. I'm not as in as big a rush to get that point. This is big. This might be big. But maybe I should start with this one. Yeah, let's do that. That seems very, very big. Because otherwise white could like descend here, and I would be inclined to answer. White might get that exchange for free. So at this point, I'm pretty sure we're losing, or at the very least the game is even. But we're going to try to keep it close. Like losing by 10 points, I would be very happy. Losing by 20 points, maybe a bit more shameful. Of course, KataGo is a little bit more point oriented than Lila Zero, for instance. It's not likely to just win by 1 point just because it can. So I think it wouldn't make much sense to play against Lila and say that I'm going to try to keep the game close at least, because once it's winning, it won't really care. It's going to win by half a point. It can, but I think here like KataGo is going to continue to take points if I let it. So let's see. But don't really know how it's working. This is strange and scary. So if I block here, like there's nothing working here immediately, but like white is going to play something like this. Maybe Atari. Looks fine to me, I guess. White is going to get something here. So it's a cool move for white, but I think I'm still okay here in this area. It's not like anything is going to collapse. So the aim here might be for white to get some strength around here to fix this weakness. I'm aiming, like at this point, if white just plays some big territorial move, there are some problems here on the right side. I'm not sure quite how I would play it. Maybe like this, threatening this cut. White plays like this, I'm like cutting white apart. So, like in the game, if white gets some extra moves in this area, that would help fix those problems. Okay. This is probably worth responding to, but I'm thinking, like maybe instead of this, I play like here. Because like if I play here, it gives me like slightly better access to this area, but I leave more problems here, so I'm going to lose this point. But if I play here, I think I might get to keep a little more of my points. And like if I play here and white captures, I can just tenuki. Yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit passive, a little bit backing off again, but if white plays here, I also have this pretty nice point here, I think, to jump into this area, so it's not like capturing this one stone is anything amazing for white. Because now I still think white has to worry about this stuff. Um, I mean, I would be worried. I don't know if KataGo is. So, stuff left to do in this game. Oh, okay. So that's nice in one way, because white played a very safe passive move, but that also means that white is probably winning now, which was sort of expected. Um, so it sort of calmed down. It's a big territorial point here, but I think maybe I can get away with this. Like if I play here, white invades the top, then like there's some co-threats in that area. But I don't have much in the way of co-threats, unfortunately. Still, like even if I don't play this code, this is a very big move in and of itself. Like the difference between white getting this corner point somehow, me getting them is quite big. But also, when white plays next, so we imagine this move already on the board, sort of. Let's imagine white has this Atari. Some white move here might potentially make some points in this area. Well, if I play here, I get points and I'm threatening to take away white's points. So this could also be pretty big. But it's like I'm so strong on both sides, so it's not very interesting. I think I want to try this. It's also sort of like if white is winning, then maybe white will just say that okay, I'll live with this group. It's fine by me. So right now white has this option to peep here. Probably can't, like this wouldn't work, right? But white could do this to sort of steal away the corner. But the issue is that when white places one to exchange, this ko becomes much easier for me to play, so I don't think white is going to think about doing that. White is pretty likely just going to leave this, because it's hard for me to start a ko. Like if white just plays elsewhere, throwing in here, like I have quite a lot to lose locally. But if white plays locally, then maybe white, yeah, would like push, go down, or probably just go down here to leave this, like go down here to leave this option, I guess. Okay, white goes for this one. So maybe I just extend. This is another one of those situations where if I Hane, might just help white, but maybe I should Hane. Here. Do I have to worry about white just cutting directly? Maybe a little bit. Because white cuts, I like. Okay, let's just extend. So, do I want to do this? I'd really prefer not to. So maybe I should like do this or something. Also, like, no, this is, you know, maybe I should just jump here, or start from this side. Is there big follow-up for white here? It's Hane. Oops. Hane. Just Hane and double Hane, I guess. It's a bit annoying. But if I Hane and white cuts, actually I might just Atari down in that case. I might let white come in here. Is that a terrible idea? I think it should be an even trade. And if white harness here. Problem is that I'm not really threatening anything with this shape here. I feel like I want to do this once, even if I'm potentially thinking of being crazy enough that if white harness here, I might leave it and say that this exchange was a little bit good. And then if white Atari is here, then I like Atari to give it up. White was already strong there anyways. I'm gonna try now to not play too slowly here towards the end. Because I want to try to keep this video. Let's see if we can get it under 2 hours. But what's left at this point? Like there's this endgame. Somewhat big, but not super urgent. And there's this endgame. There's this ko. That's so annoying from white. So I was saying before that if white cut here, I might play like this, and at this point if white plays this, I might not mind. Maybe white will Atari here first. Let's say like this. Maybe I'll just let white come in here. And I mean, it's a bit painful, but at least I got inside a little bit here. But now white already now goes here, so then it's even harder for me here. Because at this point, I really don't want to just let whites come in. So I guess I will block. And when white cuts, I might just have to submit an Atari on that third line. But at least it looks like I might get sent to there. I mean, white is going to play maybe Atari on these 5 stones, but then I can play some other big stuff potentially. And I feel like I need to stay in the mindset of it's okay to lose. I just want to keep it somewhat close if possible. So, because I start feeling so depressed about the game otherwise, need to stay positive. So the plan here is that, okay, white cuts. I'll just Atari like this, I'm thinking. And then like the next move here would be pretty big to Atari like this, because this is double Atari. So I'm thinking like at this point that white would add some move, either like this I would be super happy, but more realistically maybe white plays this Atari. I guess at that point I still had this option to Atari in like a little bit, but basically white fixes this and also threatens to capture 5 stones. But I think at that point maybe I should ignore that, because that's like 10, 12 points thereabouts. Maybe I should take that. At some point here I should have gotten this Atari, but it's not really big enough, like probably white will ignore that anyways. And I don't think I can like fight in any way here. If I Atari from this side, you have to add a move like this, and then white can just capture. Atari here, white goes down. Yeah, it's like, there's no way. So, let's do it this way. And then what? Can like jump into this area somehow? Because otherwise white is going to play the next move here, I guess. So which move do I want to play in this area? Do I want to play here or this one? Here, here. I feel like this move is worth playing because if I don't play it, like white going down here is threatening um, to cut here, or like play the Satari or something. It's like super big. So it just seems like since I can maybe get this exchange in center, it might be worth it. Okay, white plays away now. Interesting. So then I do this. Right? There's not much left here. Like, I mean, I can connect here. But anyways, white capturing there is not center, so let's do this first. And I feel like I'm happy to give up like these 5 stones if I get to capture, get into the center here, right? So maybe white is planning to give these 2 up. So at this point, even though this is Atari on 5 stones, like I'm pretty happy to get out in this way, I would think. So I'm thinking maybe white is going to play like this instead. And say that if I want to play a slow move here to capture 2 stones, then I can do that. So let's maybe recount my secure points. Got this exchange in since last time. Any other way to play this here? Like I could tar from this side. Doesn't make much of a difference. Still, like white could play some shape to fix it, and I would need to spend a move to. Mm. Mm. It might be a little bit better actually. Yeah, I'm really not like happy. Like in this variation, it's not like I'm going to spend a move here right now, right? This is, I could just as well resign. White got so many points here, so let's at least do this one and see what happens. Because the difference here is like even though white can like spend some move here, this is actually better for me because now um, white's move to save the 2 stones is not sent to capture all these stones. While in this variation like this, like I'm going to play elsewhere and then pretty soon, you know, white gets this move, save 2 stones and also Atari, so if white is just going to protect outside here, I'm happier in this way. And like if white saves the 2 stones, then I, you know, just move in here somehow. Take away the points. Can I still play this one actually? Let's just say that I'm thinking if this move is possible. And if it would be better than just doing this. So if I do this one and white captures, a slight issue here is that when white connects there's some RG down here, but I don't think it's a big deal actually. So let's try it. We need to try something. Yeah, right, so white can do that. Makes sense. And like at this point, like I could extend here. Captures, Atari, Atari, capture one stall. Or I could do this one here. Atari. There's nothing there really, so I think I need to go for this one. Ah, but in this variation, I see. So the problem here is that, like this, now there's this double Atari here. So that's a bit of a issue. So maybe I just have to leave that for now. But I mean, if all this is white points, I mean, I could probably just as well resign. So maybe I should start this code and just see what happens before I resign. And maybe like connecting here could be some nice code thread. Yeah, let's see about that. So again, I have, let's see, about 20 points here. So I have like at least like I have like 70, 80 points, I think. And white, let's ignore this for now. And let's say white has like, again, let's say this is 35, 40, and white gets this whole thing. Yeah, so like for sure white is winning, but if this dies, at least it's pretty close. Mm-hmm. So this makes the code very clear here. Either I'm going to win by capturing here, or white is going to win by capturing in the corner. And it's possible that I should have like prepared with a move here first. Maybe my first code threat is not big enough. But actually, when white takes here, yeah, right. So of course, one option for me would be to connect here, but then white just lives. And I don't have enough points, so let's at least try see if white wants to keep these center points. I have a pretty nice code threat here, right? I think that's a pretty nice code threat. Whoa, okay. So, wait, which order what do I want to do this in? I want to like here, or just extend like this? If here and white cuts, extend, and then Atari to this one. Do it like this. So I got to take these points away, but I lost everything in the lower left. So I would like to make this exchange pretty soon. Like this one, and then like Hane, like this. To prevent white, because if white just plays next here, then it's like super big. Let's maybe do this one. And yeah, I think I want to do this right away, because I think white should want to respond here. Otherwise I take, and I get back my points. Maybe like I should play here first, because okay, here I should take this Atari, right? Because in the future white is going to maybe play this one. So let's take this while we can. Then the question is if I should play here or extend here first. I think I can get away with this probably. So what's nice about this exchange is that when white captures here, at least there's a ko. Like when white plays the next move here, there's at least a ko shape locally. So there's like a small gain for me to make this exchange while I can, instead of white just getting to make the next move here. Then it's very sad shape for me. Okay, so when white does that, I was planning to just take here. I don't mind too much switching back here. White wants to take there, allow me to start his ko again. It's fine by me. Then there's a question of if I should start with A14 or this one on the left here. feel like this is probably bigger than this. Also this one I should play pretty soon. Okay, so I think we're officially past 2 hours. I would be surprised if anyone has watched this far without falling asleep, but congratulations to you in that case. I think I'm going to play it out to the end rather than resigning, just to like have a future benchmark for. It's sort of nice to know like if I'm 20 points, losing by 20 points, or if I'm losing by whatever with 5 stones. And then next time, you know, can try a different handicap and compare. So here the idea is that the follow-up would be pretty big. To be able to honey here takes away quite a few points. So I now have follow-ups on the left, either both of this one and this one to look forward to. And I might not get both of them, but I'll probably get one of them. And the other two big points are, yeah, this capture in the center, and there's also this endgame. Like this one is a little bit interesting because White could consider playing this ko. Like this would be that locally, but White has this ko. So I want to play this while there are still some ko threats for me, because I need a few ko threats to do that. So maybe, you know, I don't have much in the way of ko threats, but let's see right now. Probably White is not going to play, because White doesn't have that much to gain on playing that ko. If I lose it, it's really no big deal for me. This move here is somewhat big, but compared to like the side points, I think it's a lot smaller because it's sort of gote for both sides. So I'm gonna do this stuff first, and then I'm hopefully I'll get the opportunity to play there. Yeah, that's nice. Here. I feel like I should start from this side. This might actually, is that one of those situations where you get to play this, let's say we get this situation where I could play here. Be a little bit cool in that case. Just sort of strategy where you can make White play this way, you get all this stuff, and then in future you also get this Atari. And if White tries to resist like this, then you get this nose to 30. I think it might be working. I don't know if I ever got the opportunity to play that in a game. It's sort of like a common endgame to 30. And here, of course, it would be a mistake for white to Hane. Probably in that case, I'll just Atari here. But I could potentially also do this one. So scared to say that something is a mistake. Now I'm like, when white is thinking about it, I'm like, what would I actually do? But I think like this would be simple enough, and you know, this would be a pretty clear gain for me. So no reason for white to do that instead of just backing off. And like the other option would be like a little bit more complicated, but more to gain for me. It's like this would be the stronger option, but then there's like potential for this go here. So I don't know if I would play that at this point. Okay, that's strange. Really? So of course I could just respond here. This exchange doesn't really change anything, but I'm also like wondering, what if I just play away? This seems like super big, but of course this is also quite big. And it's a little bit annoying that this move also has some effect here on this area, so I guess we'll just respond. I'm pretty sure if it were a human I were playing against, maybe, you know, they made a mistake times Suji, but I'm pretty sure if KataGo plays it, it wouldn't play it if it weren't forcing. So let's trust its times Suji judgment. It's a little bit of already left down here, white captures. So we might still have a ko. So throwing away ko threats is questionable. Let's get this. Ooh. I'm happy to get to play that at least. We just think about whether this one here is still center. So let's say we finish this area up. This one should still be, like, I guess white could think about doing it this way. So like just barely save it like this. But white has to play something at least. And that way would give me lots of extra co threats, so that's sort of nice towards this side down here. And this should also be sent up because like Atari, well, okay, maybe it's not quite clear. It's interesting. I sort of assumed that would be Santa, but it's not necessarily. So I guess we'll... There's some other big points here, but I feel like starting with this one. Let's have this move. No rush to play that one. Then we have this one. This is getting pretty big at this point. I could also maybe start with this Atari. So I'm expecting just Atari and connect in some way. Then the question is this one. It's like it's pretty big. Other option would be like here. I guess this move also threatens to cut this stone off. Which I probably can't really do directly. So let's say like here, white peeps. Here. Like otherwise white attaching here is pretty nice. So let's see if we can get this one. We don't have a lot to follow up here. What we could, for instance, push here once, and then not sure we could actually jump here because white has this peep. Peep, this push. Actually, maybe I should have done this before giving white this moves. But maybe if I first had this cut in already, I can afford to do that. So let me show what I'm talking about. If I follow up like this, I'm a bit worried about this peep here. And like this move here is potentially not sent towards the right side. But if I've already played, took this, take some points here, and then, you know, next up, I might jump here. Because then I don't think there's much to worry about here. Okay, white connects. I don't think I need a move here. So I think we take this one now. We could potentially like wedge here or something crazy, but white doesn't gain a lot. So let's do that. And connect. play a coat threat. I'm thinking like this push. Also maybe like this might be reasonable coat threat. Could also do this one. But I'm thinking this one so that this one is like a little bit more center later. Also I have this one. Probably this one. So I think we're doing okay on coat threats. So even though this go is a little bit heavy, I think we can manage this. It's heavy because it's a lot of points. Thankfully I'm all connected out. So if anything, I'm happy with this game that I managed to like not die with anything big. My sort of plan going in was to just like back off, be safe, and lose some points, and we managed to do that. This interesting choice here now for white how to uh, respond here. Like the best on points would be presumably this. Yeah, just taking all the points. But that actually gives me like several more co-threats in this area, so I didn't mind too much giving up that little bit. Like compared to me playing here, I give up a little bit here, but I thought it was maybe worth it for because this co is so big, but who knows if that was worth it. So I guess next I should... Or should I continue this one? Like Atari, but then white comes out. So maybe I should like play this peep. And what's a little nice is that now with this move being center, this peep actually doesn't lose points compared to the Atari, right? Because like this, white is still going to have to add a move later. I guess that was the case even before, even without this being center. Anyways, white is going to take. I'm going to throw in here, I think. Or should I start with this? Let's do this one. Again, this is interesting because white could connect, but then I have another huge co-threat, and also it's starting to look like this could potentially make this now my center if white tries to protect this way. So I'm hoping that white just captures here if white wait, but it will be interesting if white goes for this one, I guess. Like, so if white has this, I'm saying that this, first of all, I have this code threat, and then also like this move now suddenly looks a lot more dangerous. Is it actually just? Not sure yet if it's working. I'll have to read it more carefully if it comes to that. Okay. We'll respond to that. Again, I feel like I should maybe resign here if I'm really a lot behind, but it's also sort of interesting to see what happens here on left, so I think I'll play on just to find out. White went for the most greedy option again. It's very interesting, like if it were a human strong player playing it, I would take that as a sign that the game was maybe closer than I thought. I'm not bother now to count it precisely, but I sort of just assumed that white is ahead. So I don't know what this means, but now, like I said, we have to do some reading here. Like at the very least, I could just play this and have like tons of more code threats, right? And is this really like, should I respond to this? Katsir here. Yeah, I guess I should. Maybe I do it this way. Tari here. Yes, right now. I don't know. Let's. I find it surprising that white is complicated in a game like this. I thought white could just play this code, just play some code threads. This doesn't look like. Like first of all, white could at this point we were playing this go, and then white just plays this move. Why doesn't white take the go? Oh wait, sorry, I'm confused. Yeah, I just took the go. Okay, that's why. So white is thinking about this as a co threat, I guess, but it's like doesn't seem big enough because white can capture this one stone, so just about this few points here. I guess that might be enough, but so I think what I will do is I will play like I wanted to play this exchange here because otherwise there's some bad stuff happening in this corner potentially. Either like this or potentially just like this. Not sure which is better. But if I have like this exchange in already, this should be fine for me. Should be no way here. I was 1 second thinking about, is this like sometimes as the Suji like this? But I guess I will just send. So I think like to show some fighting spirit, I'm not going to connect here. Instead, I'm going to play this. Even if it turns out that it's not strictly speaking Santa towards this area, it's going to leave lots of code threats. So it means that I can still fight this go.
I guess maybe white gains a little bit of points here anyways in the process. That might be what white is doing here, like white gets honey here for free and so on. Maybe I should descend here if white harness instead of this one. Keep an eye in that corner. Okay, that's another strange move. White doesn't really gain anything if I just capture. If I go in, I think I want to capture actually to keep center, because if I go in, just capture. Oh, I'm falling asleep soon, so let's try to finish this up. It's hard to, like you often say this. One difficulty of playing against an AI is if it's plays quickly, then it's so easy to just get caught up and play quickly as well. But here I keep thinking that I'm going to play quickly from now on, but then it takes a long time for its next move, and then I'm sort of caught up in the slow thinking instead. So I guess while we're waiting, let's just look at this again. Can I connect here in center in the future? Let's maybe not play that. Let's play like here. Going out there should be the right move. And then like just a target like this doesn't seem right. Shouldn't work. But it actually does. Super strange shape. So maybe it's just working like that. It's probably like a nice way to do it, but I think that's working. Do we have something else we want to play first though? I don't know. Let's just play. Okay, that's ridiculous shape. I don't see any reason to do it like that. Shouldn't like just connecting solidly should surely be better. Really no reason to play here actually, because white can't play that anyways now. So maybe I should try to keep my points here and still fight this ko. Since white gave me some more ko threats here. Yeah, let's do it like that. So I think like white doesn't have a lot of ko threats now. White only like it's the lower right. Um, that should really not make up for
all the threats I have here. Oops. So at this point I can't really... Or can I? Here, capture. Guess it might be a ko as well, right? Oh no, because white just extends. Like at this point, if I do this one, white doesn't have to play this ko, but instead white can extend here. So I can't do that. Instead we will have to give white these points. And then we should be basically finished with this game. After this I will connect here, presumably. Maybe this one first. But I can't really play here. So there's no point here. The only other point left would be this one. And I guess I should technically just keep playing the last endgame, but hmm. Let's see. This one has almost no center value because, like, even after I play here, I need both this move and this move to be center. Um, hmm. So also there's this. So like we're all going to get something. Uh, yeah, let's actually let's keep fighting till the last, because this is a 2-point move, and when white plays it, it has a little bit and center value, threatening to save 1 stone, so it's somewhat big. And I really want to like know what the idea was here, because it seems like it would be a much better idea to, for instance, connect solidly, to not allow me to cut here now. So, like, it's probably just there's no reason this would be better. It's just that Animo is winning, but normally KataGo is pretty good at still playing reasonable moves, even when it's absolutely winning. Okay, interesting. I said before that instead of going into this variation, maybe it would be better on points for me to descend here. But now white is taking that point from me. And the issue here is that if I like descend here, this looks potentially bad. So I think I'll just play it like this. Aha, but if I play here, then maybe white can throw in. So maybe I should play this one. And then there should be no ko. I mean, I probably can't afford to make this into a ko and have both these kos, because then white is going to win one of them. And that wouldn't be any good. So I have to like give up some endgame here. That's the price I pay for ignoring before when white. Um, played some move here. Got to push down. Got Q2. Okay, let's try to stay awake. Closing in on 3 hours. Yep, yep. Let's just take a liberty. Like there's going to be a little bit of I can play like this. And actually save T2. So there is a nice endgame there, but it's if White plays that, it's sort of Gotha, and I will get something like J1 instead, so it's not a huge deal. So if White wants to spend save T2, White actually needs to spend a move here to do it, because otherwise I might capture with the next move and then it's just dead. It's also interesting though that all these could be like co-threats for this co-fight, so White could have took the co in between here. Okay, it's going to save it. I'm going to... what am I going to do? I'm sort of debating whether I want to play this Atari for taking this endgame here. Oh wait, this is actually... this is... no. It's not quite center right, because when I hear White can do this one... I thought for a moment there that like when I do this, that it's threatening this one like this, but actually White will just Atari from this side. Okay, let's so with this, I still have like this co-thread should be big enough. I shouldn't really have this as a co-thread. I can in a pinch like play, yeah, I can play like at least like 2 there, then I have like this one, so I think I should be fine to do this. Just take all the endgame.
White captures, I play this on a connect, and we're still going to uh, win this go, hopefully. Yep. Yeah, so like clearly I can't win both these goes at once, right? Um, so let's just connect at this point. Be done with this game. White will connect this one. We will exchange to Dame here, and I will get this Atari. I'm still like trying to make something happen here, but no, I think like after I play this one, I can just take the other Dame and it's over. Okay. Let's see how big the margin is. In this game I really can't blame my lack of counting on not having enough time. Just me being lazy. But, like for this last part, it's like it feels like it doesn't matter since I said if I decided that I'm going to play it out until counting, even if I'm behind, it doesn't really matter at this point how much I'm behind by. And if it's very close, then yeah, I will anyways have fought for the last few points like I did. I don't know if it's maybe... Should I remove the dead stones, or... Guess we could. Okay. They are saying that... I mean, KataGo is definitely capable of ending the game earlier, but maybe this particular setup wants to do it like this. Should be quick enough. Okay, at this point I'm just going to look at the score estimate because the game is actually over. Whoa! It's saying white by 1. So in that case it was actually the closest possible margin. But I guess there probably still wasn't any um, chance for me towards the end. Doesn't feel like it feels like I got everything I wanted. There was no time where I could have pushed even harder. But it will be interesting to see the um, you know, see at what point I fell behind and if it actually gave some points back, because then I feel like I was behind by more than that earlier. If that's really correct, that it's white by 1. So I'm not going to do any sort of review in this video because it's already 3 hours long, but I think I'll make a sort of recap slash review video separate from this one, where I'll maybe go over the game a bit more quickly for those people who didn't want to sit through 3 hours of me thinking silently. Um, so, you know, look forward to reviewing a different video, hopefully. And I'll just end this one once we get the official result here. Okay, now it's...
Remove the dead stones.
Okay.
White wins.
By 6 points. Okay, wait, so something was wrong with the... How could the score estimate be so wrong? Anyways, I will see you in the review video, hopefully. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.